All right, Emily the Show dropped a small, teensy weeny little thing. And this, again, talking about kind of the slow week. This is really it in terms of content until Friday, which will be explosive. But they did drop a small little morsel, sort of keep going. So there is something to grind and work for as you sort of work around other things. Like I said, this week is mainly a week to catch up. My chair, I think, there you go, not around anymore. But this is a week to basically catch up. So this is just another way to sort of do that while learning some other stuff, some good stuff along the way. So let's break it all down. It'll be short, kind of sweet, and yeah. So let's just talk about what we saw or what there is. Some goodies. So get it. Alrighty. So let's just start off with the big stuff here. The big stuff that came out today. They dropped a new program. It's called Video Game Numbers. Is it overly exciting? I don't know. There's some packs to get, but there's also the two cards here. One being Reed Detmer's no-hitter card that he threw 3 years ago. Jeez. So, 4-seam sweeping curve, circle change, and a slider, and a sinker. So, Angel fans, we keep winning. By the way, he doesn't have a cutter, but I'll give him a shot. I will bite the bullet and give the 95 Reed Detmers a shot. He's dominating the bullpen. His 4.9s are pretty good. I think he'll fit in kind of where we are in terms of the meta right now. Another strong lefty. There's a lot of them, man. I think he'll be rather good in the rotation. I mean, do the numbers, I don't know. Do they stand out? Not necessarily, but I think he might be funky enough to kind of get away with it. The curveball there's got some 20 miles an hour speed differential on there. He's got pickoff artists. Might not be the worst thing in the world. And then going into Cal, here's Cal. 6-hit game. 122.89 versus right. 114.76 versus left. Third baseman, and then a shortstop as the backup. This is towards the latter half of his career. But, again, in terms of free, which we like, 2 more milestone cards to add to get to Ted Williams and all this. So pretty good overall. There's some moments here. There's a lot more of it, as you see here. As you go here, there's a ton of moments here. So you get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75. If you do all the moments, well, you get them. Then there's an optional stat mission in the controller conquest, which you'll do 50. So if you want to do this, you could do that to get 50 of them and not have to necessarily do as much. And the big reward at the end of it is a Prime Deluxe pack. So that might be worth it. In terms of teams here, there's 6. I don't think it'll take too terribly long. And plus, if you're grinding and trying to get some of the cards for the All-Stars, this is the way to do it. And again, it shouldn't take you too long. It maybe take you an hour, hour and a half. Same thing as the Diamond Quest run. So nothing to complain there. But in terms of kind of, hey, let's look and see what those cards did for milestones. If you don't have them, you only need 3. So mind you, if you got the Adam done and nothing else, so really you should have 2. If you got everything, you would have had 2, because if you did the Kershaw thing, you'll have another one. But now you got this basically down for free, which is always kind of huge. And mind you, Grady Sizemore fell plummeted back down to earth. So if you need to pick him up for like 10K, probably not the worst thing in the world to do. But just wanted to throw that out there, that milestone is probably now basically free at this point. Talking about that. Let's just, let's go into the multiplayer stuff. Let's talk about ranked and the new stuff that's in ranked for right now. Talking about the program here. So cards along the way that we're beginning here. We're starting off with the Lee Smith here. Lee Smith, 4-seam slider, cutter, and a forkball, 95. Good per 9s. He's going to fit into a lot of people's spins. And again, he's going to be fairly cheap. Why? Because everybody's going to be using him. So play it or pick him up. He's probably going to, his price will be relatively low. And then you get some rewind bats. Getting there. The other card is a Brenton Doyle. Pretty flat lines, if I do say so myself. 92, 89, 90, 78. Spectacular center field defensive player as always. That's basically what this card is. So use it wisely. If you're prioritizing defense, this is the card I think his battle play. There's also a June spotlight here, so you'll get something there. And of course, what I like to call the World Series on a budget. All these cards are going to drop considerably. So if you haven't picked up like Pedro, like me, I need to pick up Pedro. I'm gonna pick him up here shortly, so I'll get him, and then these two guys will definitely come down along the way as well. And of course, the 10-0 flawless rewind. So as people get closer and closer to this, these prices will also come down as well. So they won't be 75K anymore. They will definitely plummet. But in terms of the World Series cards, let's talk about those two, Frank Thomas and Tim Raines. So going to the going back to the collections here. Let's go take a look at Frank Thomas, who is a standout or contributor. I'm sorry, he is a contributor. Frank Thomas, 100, 120, or 190 versus right, max 125 versus left, first base DH type, no defense. But if you want him to play first, you probably can. But the man's gonna hit taters, just straight up taters. He's gonna pretty good reward. And when he plummets back down to earth in a month, it's gonna be hilarious. It'll be something. Next up, I think the second half hero is Tim Raines. Card's pretty slappy, 173, 125, 70. If he played second base, that'd be spectacular. Really good speed defense. His speed will carry the reaction in left field. He'll be a great left fielder. Not too shabby of a card. Really good leadoff hitter. I like his swing a lot. Again, wish he could play second. But hey, here we are. Also, they dropped some BR stuff. And again, they talk about the milestone. Here's another one. Joe Nathan. Here's Joe Nathan's pitches. 4-seam slider, sinker, changeup, and a cutter. 5 pitches. He's going to be gross. The numbers are gross. When this guy comes back down to earth next month, oh, buddy. It's going to be beautiful. And the second one was, oh, God, what was the other one? What was it? I got to look again. It was a hitter. Let me see. BR. It was Joe Morgan. MVP Joe Morgan. All right, let's go to the award side here. Oh, boy. Let's see. Where's the awards? I thought I had. I might not have. I have everything. Awards. There we go. Joseph Morgan. Joe Morgan. 190, 112, 70. He can play second base, and that's it. Good speed. Defense is okay. A lot of people like his swing. I personally don't. But if you do, hey, you do you, baby boo. I don't listen to me and what my stupidity has to say. I think this guy's okay. If you get him, good. If not, hey, you can always pick him up for not a lot, a little bit. And finally, to close this thing out, I guess, let's talk about what the new card they dropped today, being in as a headliner, a standout, Evan Phillips. Sweeper, cutter, 4-seam sinker. He's got the meta pitches, 122 hit per 9K for 9's a little low. 4 pitches, he might fit into a bullpen. Again, we talked about the lack of like bullpen arms. He's gonna fit in. He's very much acting like it on the market. If you pull him, fantastic. But we'll gotta see what happens as things sort of go along there. I think that sums up everything. And again, the biggest thing is take a look at the thing, get ready for the 11th between rosters and downgrades and stuff. So if you got packs, open them this week and see what you pull. Maybe you'll get something even better. I don't know, but that is basically everything. So yeah, but that's that. It was nice, short, quick. Alrighty, so with all that being said, again, now that we know that what's available and what the new program is, again, Milestone is now basically free if you do a little bit of playing, so that's always good to help out. And again, a fairly fun card if you're an Angel fan, if you're a Detmers, and if you're an Orioles fan, with good old Cal Ripken Jr. And again, taking this week to really prepare and get ready for All-Star content, which I think is huge because those cards look to be pretty good. Again, you don't necessarily get them as they come because not all cards are created equal. So definitely keep your eyes out for that on the 11th, which I think there might be a stream. I don't know. Is there a stream? Who the hell knows? It doesn't say. I probably not. But let me know. Are you excited for it? You get excited for the All-Star content? All-Star week that starts kind of on Friday again. We got some days to get ourselves born and prepared, ready to go. It's a great time to be an MLB Show fan. So that being said, leave a like down below, smash that like button, ring the bell. I don't care. I hate all this stuff at the end of it anyway. But thanks for watching. My name is Specs, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye, guys.